Hey everyone, thanks so much for listening to the Pain and Panic Trip Planning Podcast. My name is Haley Ragsdale and I'm here with my brother Owen Rediver.
Hey guys.
And we're in the same room!
Whoa!
Owen finally decided to leave Knoxville and move to Johnson City with me, so...
Actually, I
Here we
decided
are.
a long time ago. I've been waiting to move,
So, he's, going back to school for animation and stuff, right?
Whoa!
Yeah. So, that's what kind of made me think of today's podcast episode. This is basically like our interview, our
Interview.
This is our portfolio to send to Disney to make us Imagineers.
I didn't know where you were going with that, but that works. Yeah.
So today we're going to be kind of like hypothesizing, talking about, with all the hype from Epic Universe and everything, it would be cool if Disney eventually opened a fifth park, opened a fifth gate. It'd be really awesome. So we're going to be hypothesizing about what we think that could look like, some of our ideas. We even asked ChatGPT, so we're going to talk about ChatGPT's ideas, and it's going to be a good time. But before we get into it, let's talk some news, shall we? Big stuff happening right now at Disney World is a lot of the stuff we've been talking about. So the Hollywood Studios rethemes and all that kind of stuff. That's the big news right now in Disney terms. Also, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. There are still tickets available. So if you're looking to hit up Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, let me know. You can also purchase the Christmas party as well right now. So 2 special event tickets. Tickets are out. This week was Run Disney Springtime Surprise Weekend registration. So if you were trying to register and you got a registration, congratulations. I did see that the half and the challenge were open for a hot minute.
Really?
They were still open in the afternoon, Tuesday afternoon.
Oh,
I don't know if I should look at you this way or look at you on the camera. It's really weird.
I can just look at you in the camera.
Okay, we'll just stay facing forward. But yeah, so that happened this week. Apparently Walt Disney World hit 115 degrees. So if you were there, I hope you drank a lot of water and got in the air conditioning when you could, because apparently it was really, really hot in Disney this week. There's a lot of different movies and things coming out. The Zootopia 2 trailer was released. There's a new Eyes of Wakanda. It's going to be a new 4-episode miniseries. So that sounds interesting. Owen wants to talk about something very special and near and dear to his heart, though. So I'm going to let him.
Yeah. So we're going to consider this Disney news, even though it doesn't really relate too much to Disney. But Hulu has a new show, The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball. The Amazing World of Gumball was one of the greatest Cartoon Network shows of all time. And apparently, Disney now has distribution rights over, some Cartoon Network shows. Apparently. Who knew? Because now that Disney owns Hulu, man, in my heart, that's considered Disney news. So yes, new season of The Amazing World of Gumball, but now titled The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball. So excited to go watch it, and I bet you guys are too.
So that's the big things in Disney right now. Universal-wise, apparently Epic, so they kind of released some of their information on the impact on revenue recently, which I think is really cool. So apparently Universal's new theme park, Epic Universe, which officially opened on May 22nd, 2025, but you all listening to this podcast already know that, it says has already led to a significant 18.9% jump in Universal theme park revenue compared to the same period last year. So that's a lot of money. Comcast, Universal's parent company, reports that Epic Universe is driving higher per capita spending and attendance across Universal Orlando Resort as a whole. The park is trending in line with their expectations, and Universal's near-term focus is on expanding ride throughput to reduce early attendance constraints. I don't really know what that means, but I know that the park's doing really well. And I've heard on some other Disney podcasts and things, people have been talking about it, and they're like, I really don't think Epic's doing as good as everybody thought it was going to. And I disagree with that statement, because I think it's been doing phenomenal. And a lot of people were saying that, like, with all the previews and things, it made the hype for the actual opening day, like, not as big in hype.
I could see that.
And yeah, like, I get that. But at the same time, I felt like the way they did it was really smart because they had so many previews leading up to it and so many, like, influencers and celebrities and things that were there and hyping it up and talking about how awesome it was that I had a lot of people, like, my normal Disney people, and they were like, "Hey, should I go to Epic? Should I plan a trip to Universal because this park looks awesome?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean it's fantastic, and let's put some pressure on Disney to make a fifth park and hire us as Imagineers."
Yeah, for real.
I feel like there was something else we wanted to bring up.
I mean, new Universal movies coming out is Hopper. Hopper is like the big one that's like going around. Where I guess it's this.
It's Pixar.
Is Hopper Pixar? Oh yeah. What am I doing?
I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, I gotta lock in. The first episode in person is really getting on me. Oh no, we've had an episode in. Anyways, Hopper comes out soon. It's essentially a movie about a little girl who gets transported into a beaver's body, and she ends up like going around and like seeing how nature works and how beautiful nature is. So
they literally in the trailer make a joke about how it's like Avatar, but beavers.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's like a scene in the trailer where she like sees another beaver getting eaten by a bear, and she's like, "No, spit him out!" And, like smacks him, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "Do you want to get eaten?" And he's like, "That's just the way nature goes." So,
it looks pretty funny.
I think it'll be a good movie. My bad. It's Pixar.
Yeah,
I think that does sound right.
It is. It's okay. But back to Universal. The last thing I wanted to mention was that the new DreamWorks land, which I believe is in the Universal Studios side of the parks, is open at Universal Studios Florida. Thank you, Google. Which has characters like Shrek, Trolls, Kung Fu Panda, which apparently has the Trolls roller coaster and the Kung Fu Panda training camp, which I really want to do. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it entails, but
Kung Fu Panda. Just a lot of kids skadooshing each other. Skadoosh.
All right. Enough on news.
Let's lock in.
Yeah. Hey, Disney, hire us to be...
We haven't even done it yet.
Imagineers.
We haven't even gave our spiel yet. What, you already telling them to give us jobs?
Yeah. Just based on us.
I don't even need to hold the list. I got down in my brain, okay? Now, out of all the ideas we came up with, right? So we were talking back and forth. We were consulting with ChatGPT. We were looking at like what kind of options would there even be? And I have to say I'm pretty proud of this one idea I came up with. And that's across the decades in a kingdom, okay? So I don't know what it would be called or how generally you'd space it out. I imagine that like maybe as you walk in, you start in like the early or like the newer generation, and as you go farther into the park, it might go into the later decades and generations. So that way, not only because the way I think about it with this idea, the reason why I think it would be good is because you have a lot of the older generations that probably don't feel like they're getting represented. I know Haley talks about it all the time with, Atlantis and
my big ones
Treasure Planet
that I want to see in the parks are Hercules and Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, and I feel like that'd be a good like way to represent them is if you had them like in these like sectioned off decades where it's like even like all the way back in the park you have like Snow White and a lot of like the original movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So well, they have like they have different names for the periods, right? So there's like the Renaissance period of Disney. Let me look it up. You continue spieling, and I'll don't listen to us arguing, Disney.
Yeah, I mean, I think like in general, you could see it as like you could either have it sectioned off into wedges, and so it's like one circular park, and as you go around, kind of like how the World Showcase is, where you've got like each area is its own country. It's usually got one restaurant, couple booths, and then a ride, depending on where you're at in the World Showcase, but.
You mean give you the eras?
Yeah, let's listen to the eras real quick and see how many we have.
So this also says while there isn't one universally agreed upon official list by Disney themselves, animation historians and fans commonly divide Walt Disney Animation Studios' filmography into distinct eras based on artistic style, commercial success, thematic trends, and key leadership changes. So, first of all, you've got the Golden Age, which is 1937 to 1942. So that's going to be Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio, Fantasia, Dumbo, Bambi. And then you have the wartime era or package film era, which is 1943 to 1949. And that's going to be like The Three Caballeros. I don't even know half of these. Make Mine Music, Fun and Fancy Free, Melody Time, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. So that would be cool if they brought back like the Mr. Toad ride.
Yeah.
And so this says, due to World War II and financial constraints, Disney focused on package films, compilations of animated shorts rather than single cohesive feature narratives. Budgets were lower and many animators were involved in wartime propaganda. Then you go into the Silver Age, which is the Restoration era, which is 1950 to 1967. Which is like Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Lady and the Tramp, Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians, Sword in the Stone, Jungle Book.
That's
Then you get, right? Then you get the Bronze Age, which is the Dark Age, 1970 to 1988. That's going to be like the Aristocrats, or the Aristocats, Robin Hood, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, The Rescuers, Fox and the Hound, Black Cauldron, Great Mouse Detective. Okay, then Disney Renaissance, which is like my prime. The next two are like my prime. Let me just say that. Disney Renaissance, this is 1989 to 1999. Little Mermaid, Rescuers Down Under, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, Pocahontas, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, Mulan, Tarzan.
Oh, and then this next one. Okay.
So the post-Renaissance era, this is when it's called like the experimental era. That's 2000 to 2008. You've got Fantasia 2000, Dinosaur, The Emperor's New Groove, Atlantis, Lilo and Stitch, Treasure Planet, Brother Bear, Home on the Range, Chicken Little, Meet the Robinsons, Bolt. The revival era is 2009 to the present. So that's all your present movies. You got Princess and the Frog, Tangled, Winnie the Pooh, Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, Big Hero 6, Zootopia, yada, yada, yada.
Okay. Well, okay, so then this is perfect. Looking at that, I think it would be so cool to have, and now that I think about it, I think the World Showcase like setting would make sense because then you could start in the oldest generation or the newest generation and move inward.
Yeah.
But like I think, especially with how that's split up, that would be a perfect way for them to highlight because that second oldest generation, I have no idea any of those.
Yeah.
Like even the Mr. Toad, like I've heard of him, but like imagine that area where it's like a lot of people feel like their movies have been forgotten. They can go there. And a lot of the movies that we were talking about that you always miss were highlighted in one of those Renaissance.
Yeah.
And so that's when you get the opportunity to really create some, because like imagine in that post-Renaissance era or area, you have like an Atlantis ride or an Emperor's New Groove ride.
Yeah.
And then, maybe in like the wartime one, it kind of highlights some of that older hand-drawn art styles and stuff like that. So I think that could be a really cool way to really highlight old history, right? Because Disney has so many movies, and I feel like a lot of them, especially the older ones, do get lost, right? Like I don't know if I'm gonna show my kids that many of like Pinocchio and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs because it's just so old, right? Yeah. And it's not as it wasn't as important to me either, right? Yeah. I'm gonna show them my favorites like Finding Nemo and Wreck-It Ralph and all those kinds. So I think it'd be cool to highlight those, especially for adults who are constantly taking their kids to Disney. I think they would enjoy to be able to walk through and at least see some of their personal favorites being highlighted as well, not just the newer stuff.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be really cool. I think they could at least make it into like an attraction, like especially with this new animation focus that they're going for in Hollywood studios. That would be a cool, like how the animation changed throughout the eras based on what was happening in the world, right? Yeah. That would be really cool. Okay, what's our next pitch?
I think the next one we should talk about that I liked. I mean, I can do another one of the Epcot change.
The Epcot change. Let's hear it.
Okay, so another little idea that was roaming around
Hear
my
us
brain.
out, Disney.
So
We'd like 5 weeks vacation a year.
that's our only payment for doing. We just. Oh, Auntie Han, what did you do to Lucas?
Lucas wants 6 weeks vacation, Disney.
Oh, she's making him watch Wild Robot. That's why. Making him watch what's it called? A Universal DreamWorks movie on a Disney day. How evil. Anyways, so when you look at the current kingdom of Epcot, okay, you look at it and you're like, wow, this is a great park. But was it really what Walt Disney had imagined? And Haley has talked about this plenty on how it is not what he imagined. He imagined this, this whole
Experimental
kingdom.
prototype community of tomorrow.
Exactly. Whatever she just
Epcot.
said, Epcot stood for. That's what it is. It's meant to show how the world can progress. It's supposed to focus on the future and how we can improve the world, right? And while it does have a lot of nods to that, when you look at Living with the Land and Space Mission X.
Space Mission X.
What is it?
Mission Space.
Yeah, Mission Space.
But Space Mission X, it's the X-rated version.
As you guys can tell, I don't spend a lot of time in the futuristic part of Epcot. I go for the countries, the World Showcase. That's what I get excited for, okay? Spacebar 220 sucks. I know we don't like it. Go away. I think next time we do have to go there again, though, to really give it another shot. Because I feel like I dog on it so much for only being there once.
I've given it like 3 shots, and every time I get sick.
Well,
so I'm just like, no.
Well, Space 220, you already lost Haley, but I'll give you another chance in the future if I'm feeling good about it. Anyways, my pitch here is, what if we take Epcot, center the Epcot ball with countries all around? So we just expand the World Showcase into the entirety of Epcot, and then make a fifth kingdom that is specifically for that futuristic thinking. Okay,
Yeah.
we could even expand. Well, Tomorrowland. I mean,
But I think, okay, hear me out. I think you'd have to keep Epcot, the Epcot, right? Like, I think you'd have to keep Epcot, the front half of Epcot, and I think you'd have to make a new park that's the countries.
but then I don't know.
Because you can't be the experimental prototype community of tomorrow and be, hey, go drink.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, I feel like we would rename current Epcot to like the Country World Showcase.
And then you'd have new Epcot.
Yeah. Epcot 2.0.
It's like,
But then
Test
you'd have
Track.
to move Guardians. I guess. See, moving half a kingdom would be hard in itself. That's why this idea is just a pitch. That's why we're not Imagineers yet.
But okay, I think it would be cool. Because, like, the idea behind Epcot was that it was actually going to be a community that was, like, living in the future. And so people are testing things out. They're trying new things. And they're actually living there and being a community. So what if you actually, like, built a community where it's, like, I basically picture, like, everybody's on a spaceship and living on a spaceship in, like, the future.
Yeah, but then it kind of feels like a human zoo. At that point, like if you're having people live in a community on Disney World, that's like part of being a park, and you go and you get to see. Now, I can understand like maybe having an air like this community that maybe lives in Disney World for free, but they are part of. So like they're almost like workers.
Yeah.
Like they get the free benefits and everything, but they, because I mean, but also at the same time. It'd be really hard to like pitch to someone, would it not?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
once you said human zoo, I was like, okay, maybe this idea is not as great as we thought it was. You know what? Disney...
As we thought, this was your idea. I was just thinking we expand on the futuristic type.
You know what? Just forget we pitched idea number 2.
Well, I still like my idea, okay? I think we could still make it work if we take what Tomorrowland is in Magic Kingdom and take what Epcot was supposed to be and expand it into a new kingdom where we really, really put the test to it. Because I think one thing that does make it a little difficult for people to really feel like they're in Epcot and feeling that futuristic style is because it doesn't feel very futuristic.
It's no.
They've got a lot of innovational tech and stuff, but they don't
Yeah.
like, I imagine when I think of like a futuristic world, I think of, flying cars and cities that are floating and, the big circle agricultural, like artificial agriculture. Like, I think a lot of that is what makes me think of the future. And I feel like that's where they missed the mark.
Well, and that's the problem, right? Because
So-
it's not a community that's changing and progressing. So
I
you
feel
make
like
these. No, but listen.
Why are you
no,
pitching
listen.
the human zoo again?
Listen.
Go back in for it.
Listen.
Okay.
They're not you make an attraction in the 80s, it's stuck in the 80s forever. You make an attraction in 2010, it's stuck in 2010 forever. So like Living with the Land, for example, is the only one that's actually like changing every year. Like they're, you know what I mean? Like
That's
it's
fair.
an older ride, but they're able to easily change out like, oh, now in agriculture we're doing this. Now we're doing this. And you can't do that. Like Mission Space is so old and all it does is spin you really, really fast, right?
Yeah.
Like there's so many different things that they just like, it worked for when it came out, but you'd have to continually be opening new experiences, opening new attractions in order to keep it futuristic. I mean, that's the same issue with Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom. None of your attractions, like Tron's the only one that's really futuristic. Space Mountain's so old, like you get off there and your spine's in your nose, like.
Well, see, when I like I was saying with Epcot, I imagine this actual futuristic area that makes me feel like I've just walked into the future, right? And I think Tomorrowland does a better job depicting that than Epcot does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like almost, I feel like with Epcot, they leaned in the wrong direction when it came to the future. They leaned so heavily on the space side.
Yeah.
When they should have focused more on the innovative tech side.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think, because they've got, like, Spacebar 220, which, is a cool concept. Don't get me wrong. They got Mission Space. They've got, now Guardians of the Galaxy is really pushing that intergalactic feel. Which
fair.
I have no problem with. Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the greatest rides of all time. If not the greatest. But it almost feels like they've become, like, you've got the world, and then the space beyond, which is a cool concept. Like, if that's what they were going for, great. But that's not what they were going for. And I think that's where maybe the Fifth Kingdom could help create a new rebranding for Epcot. Maybe expanding that futuristic agriculture side and expanding as a community, like you were kind of saying.
Yeah.
But not a human zoo.
Not a human zoo.
And then maybe, like, instead of tearing down the other half of Epcot and making it more countries, maybe you do expand into that more space-driven and intergalactic-driven side of it.
Yeah.
Maybe that Treasure Planet. Maybe that could be a new expansion.
Good call.
I don't know. This, we're just racking off the brain. Imagine we're at the Imagineer talking table, and this is us.
Talking table. Is it shaped like Mickey?
Haley, I think we've had enough talk about Epcot.
Okay, yes. What's your next one?
I think you should go ahead and do your pitch on if they were to take Villain's Land but make it its own kingdom.
Okay. Hear me out. Villain's Land. Great idea, but like you're gonna leave the public wanting more. So what do we need? A fifth gate. That's Villain's Land. Villain's Park. Villain World. Okay. You've got Maleficent's castle because she's, the mistress of evil. She's definitely gets her own castle. But think about the number of things you could do with this, right? Like you could have, you could basically set it up like Magic Kingdom, right? You walk down this new main street that's like Villain Main Street and you've got Maleficent's castle. And then off on your spires and things, you've got others of the big bads that maybe have their own areas, right? Like Hades for sure has to have some kind of like underworld theming.
Imagine the first partly underground kingdom.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. And I mean, you could even use like Yzma and Kronk's roller coaster to get down there. I don't know. But like the fact that we still don't have an Emperor's New Groove coaster and there is a coaster in the movie that would be a genius ride is kind of infuriating to me. Like, do it. Just do it. We'll all love it. It'll be awesome. It'll be fantastic. And it'll be the easiest thing. Like, in my opinion, Rock and Roller Coaster should not be rethemed to the Muppets. It should be rethemed to the Emperor's New Groove. Because that would be the perfect coaster to turn into the coaster from the movie.
It is true. Because it has those big archways where you're like flying through these pictures. And like, that's like part of that whole sequence with Emperor's New Groove is flying through like the Aztec drawings and Monsters Mouse or whatever.
You know
what I mean? So,
but, you know.
Anyways.
We're doing a whole park, so, you know. But your, like, spinning ride, like your Dumbo ride, could be like Ursula. And it's like you're riding her tentacles or something. Like, it could be like, it's a giant Ursula that spins and you're riding her tentacles. But there's so many things you could do. Like, there's so many awesome villains. There's so many different areas you could make. I don't know why Disney hasn't done this yet. And your Halloween sales would go through the roof. Like, open it during Halloween season. And you have, like, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And then you have, like, the actually scary Halloween party. Like, could you imagine if they did, like, a Halloween Horror Nights?
At the Villains World.
Yeah. Like,
that would be pretty sick.
Wouldn't that be insane?
Auntie Han has to pee.
Oh,
Lucas.
you need to go to bed anyways a little bit.
He can chill for this next for the rest of this villains conversation. Oh my god, put your belly away. But yeah, no. I don't know. I feel like, especially if you were able to actually go underground, like I don't know how plausible that would be with having a whole theme park also above it. But imagine.
Well, think about Magic Kingdom. They have the Utilidor. They have all those tunnels underneath Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like, they could do it. They could totally do it. And think about, like, all the different villains that you could use. Like, Jafar, Cruella, Scar. Scar could have an area. That would be insane.
Cliff. That would be pretty sick.
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. But you could have, I don't know. I just don't know why they haven't done it yet.
Yeah, that's valid. I think a villain's world could be incredible if they created like a whole kingdom just for itself. Because that literally is half the franchise. Mm-hmm. Every single movie has an antagonist.
Yeah.
Every single story has an antagonist. I don't think, like, I can't even think of one off the top of my head that wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you could even do like one that's not necessarily lighthearted, but a little more fun. Like if you did like the villain from Coco and you had like his mansion.
Now, I've got a quick idea. Well, first of all, anything else you can think about for Villain's World?
I don't know. I just feel like there's so much we could expand on, Disney. And we would love to be a part of that team.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Villains is a missed opportunity for that fifth park. I think out of all of these ideas, that one makes the most sense.
Yeah, okay. I agree.
Now, this idea I just came up with off the top of my head because I was thinking Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph is technically a villain, but he's a bad guy. And what is their motto? I'm bad. Or no, wait. I'm bad and that's good.
Yeah.
I'm not good and that's not bad.
Yeah, that's what it is. That sounds right.
But yeah, okay. Because earlier when me and Haley were brainstorming a little bit, we had kind of thrown around the idea, trying to find a way to incorporate Epic Mickey and Kingdom Hearts. Because, I feel like the video game world of Disney is something that needs to be expanded on, right? Yeah. As someone who is going to school for a form of animation, and, wanting to work in either the video game industry or the cartoon industry, maybe both, Disney. I think the Disney video game realm is such a missed opportunity. So obviously I think we should create some more Disney video games. All right. But imagine a fifth kingdom that is all like tech inspired, right? Or like that digital world inspired. You could have that entire, middle area inspired by the literal plugs from like, like the plug station from Wreck-It Ralph. Imagine you have that. and then you can split off into your different realms, right? I
Yeah.
think obviously one area could literally just be Tappers, the bar that's inside of Wreck-It Ralph. I think
Yeah.
that would be cool. You could have your own whole like Sugar Racers area, so
Yeah.
a whole thing dedicated. Like it could literally just be like a small little area. You could, I mean, could
I
you do
mean-
go karts at Disney World? I
I
feel like
mean,
that'd
it's
be.
kind of like the ones that are in what's it called? The ones in Tomorrowland.
That's what I was
The
thinking.
speedway or whatever, but those
Yeah.
are like you have to go on the track a certain way or whatever. But
Yeah. But I mean, even if you pulled something like that, or just
Yeah.
did like where you're in Vanellope's car and you're doing her practice
it could be like
area.
how they did Mario Kart at Epic.
Yeah. And imagine having the huge Coca-Cola volcano. I
Yeah.
mean, that would be a sick addition to an area. But
Yeah.
then off of that, I mean, you expand into a Kingdom Hearts area. You could
Yeah.
expand into an Epic Mickey area where you could then feature Oswald. Oh, I mean,
yeah.
Oswald is a classic character who has a bunch of merch floating around, and I think he would love to have an area where he can really shine on his own.
Could you imagine that show too, where like all of them, like I'm picturing like a Phantasmic show, but like it's all the like characters or whatever.
That would be so sick.
Yeah, it'd be super cool.
And like,
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
sold.
even think you have to, specifically focus just on video games. I'm trying to think of like what else could fit into that realm, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even if you look at some like internet options, because obviously Ralph Breaks the Internet is a thing. I think
Yeah.
I've watched that movie like once.
Oh, really?
um,
It's really good. It's cute.
I honestly don't remember much from it, but
Yeah.
it is weird with Wreck-It Ralph being in my top 10 and me not even watching that movie that much. But anyways,
That's weird.
I don't know. I think there's some cool ways you could expand on that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, I mean, Disney Infinity, you could include it, but to be honest, Disney Infinity was kind of a bust. But I'm just saying that could also be an easy way to introduce a new Disney video game and then expand into the park whenever
Yeah.
you're like, depending on how well it does. And I don't see a Disney.
I really like
video game
the
not doing
plug idea too. And I almost think like even if they did a setup, kind of like how Epic's is set up, where you've got the portals or whatever,
Yeah.
that could be a cool way of doing like a portal into that area. Like it doesn't even have to be that the whole park is video game themed, but you've got a plug or a portal that's going to that area.
Yeah. Or yeah, I mean, you could literally do it where like that could just be an expansion off of one of the current kingdoms where it's
Yeah.
like you have the plug, you go in there, and then it expands into like a Wreck-It Ralph area where you
That
can
would
either
be
go
really cool.
you can go to Tappers, you can go to like a little mini go-kart area for Sugar Racers. You have like the what's it called? I mean, you could have the Wreck-It Ralph building. Like you
Yeah.
walk in, you see the Wreck-It Ralph building
I think
in the
it'd be
brick
super
area.
cool.
I don't know. I think there's plenty of things to play around with that.
Yeah.
I also just love Wreck-It Ralph, and I also want to
Yeah.
see Epic Mickey and Kingdom Hearts get some love inside the
Valid.
parks. You know what I
Valid.
mean?
Yeah. All right. What other ones do we have?
I know we had talked about.
Oh, let me pitch this one.
Okay, yeah, this is
This one's mean. Okay, we've talked about like the Fab Five, like Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Pluto, Donald, Daisy. So I guess there's really Fab Six.
I don't think
Since
Pluto
she's
counts as
six.
a Fab Five.
I thought Pluto did count as the Fab Five.
I'm pretty sure it's Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy. Pluto's his pet. I feel like that's.
No, I feel like Pluto's. I'm looking it up.
Whoa,
Please.
You're telling me Pluto would replace any of those other five?
I think he replaces Daisy.
A Daisy? I'm not.
Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, and Pluto. Daisy Duck is often included as the sixth member, making them the Sensational Six.
Okay, well then make this the Sensational Six, because I'm not going if Daisy ain't involved. Okay, I don't think Lucas is either.
He does love Daisy. He sleeps with a stuffed Daisy every night. Okay, so the Sensational Six part. But okay, we've talked about this before. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway was like Mickey's first ride. And that's just wrong. So you know what? We're giving the man his own park. And we're gonna have Mickey's Castle, not Cinderella's, not Sleeping Beauty's. Mickey's Castle is the center of this park.
Or
And
it could
then-
be the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Oh my gosh, that would be insane. I would love that. Okay, but something, Mickey something, right? And then you branch off and you've got Goofy's area, which could include Goofy movie stuff or an extremely goofy movie attraction of some kind. You've got Daisy's area, which is obviously connected to Minnie's area and Donald's area. Donald's got like a boat or something. Like there's some kind of like boat themed something or other. You've got a fun little boat ride, whatever it might be. Daisy and Minnie, you can like have like a bippity boppity boutique, but with Daisy and Minnie, because that would be fantastic. I would make my kid do that over bippity boppity boutique, just saying. Goofy area. Pluto, I feel like you could do a fun like toddler area or something. Like you know, like Storybook Circus, like you could do like some kind of fun like Pluto's playground or something like that. But I think it would be cool if we had like we've had different areas that have been like Toontown and things like that. But those have been so like kid themed. I want like classy Mickey, classy Minnie, like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think, in terms of like how you would, because I will say, when you look at like Minnie Mouse and Daisy, unfortunately, they don't really like they don't have their own movies or they don't have their own shows. They don't have their own anything, right?
Goofy's the only one that really has his own thing.
Well, I mean, even Donald has like DuckTales, like with Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and Duck McScrooge or whatever.
Yeah. That's fair.
And so like there's ways to expand off of Mickey, Goofy, and Donald, but I feel bad because like Daisy and Minnie don't really now.
Let's give the ladies something.
Yeah, first of all, Disney, give the ladies something outside of the parks first. Give them a show.
Yeah.
Give them some love. Maybe that's what the new video game is based on. Minnie and Daisy save Mickey and Donald.
Here's what I'm picturing because Lucas has been obsessed with K-pop Demon Hunters. But like Minnie and Daisy, K-pop Demon Hunters, K-pop Disney Hunters.
Oh yeah, I think.
Okay, maybe I'm going too far with this one. But I think that would be really cool. And like, I mean, you could do. Oh, hear me out. You could do like a bippity boppity boutique style boutique, but also have like a spa and like women can go get their nails done. You can go get your hair done. You can go do like it doesn't have to just be little girls. Let the older ladies get pampered with Daisy.
That would be fun. And then, I just imagine, I mean, even like the Donald area doesn't even really have to revolve around. Okay, Goofy, I feel like, okay, let me just restart. I gotta restart. I was getting ahead of myself. I think when you're doing the Sensational Six, I feel like you had to do some nods to the more classic cartoons. Like, like some of my favorite episodes, like looking back, are like for Mickey and his like futuristic home. I loved that one episode.
Fair.
I don't even know that's from. Or like the Goofy sports references, like where he would like teach you how to play the different sports.
Those were pretty
like
funny.
The basketball one and the baseball one, I remember so clearly.
Yeah.
Those are so good.
They used to show those on the Magical Express too, which was awesome.
Oh yeah. And so like maybe like Goofy could have his own sports area. That's where it's like, he'd have like his own sports center. I mean, that could even be a way for you to get more traffic going towards like the all-star sports area and then getting more like if Disney really wanted to get more schools taking their students on trips, like for like sports and stuff, I feel like that'd be an easy way to get that kind of traffic. But I don't know.
I mean, they have the ESPN Wide World of Sports where they have like the.
You know what? That's true.
Yeah.
I guess you could classify that as a mini kingdom, even though most people don't even think about it.
No, because I mean, we just go there to pick up our race bibs. But it is cool for like when they host tournaments and things, like those fields and things are extensive and fantastic. But I don't know. I think a Sensational Six park is like it's time.
Yeah.
We should have done it a long time ago.
After talking it through, it does sound a little bit cooler now.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Let's look in this paper, see if there's anything else we were, missing.
And then we can get into Chat GPT real quick.
Well, I think some of these are the Chat GPT ones anyways. Because, okay. So this one, I think this one was kind of one that you had mentioned from the Chat GPT. Lost Worlds.
Yeah.
So now, one thing I will say when getting started into this, me personally, I'm having a hard time thinking of like how you want to relate this to Disney, but I'm excited to see what you have to say because I'm intrigued by this. Like Lost City of Atlantis,
Yes.
that would be, you had mentioned that earlier. I think that would be so sick. And or even like, would you count like the Greek mythology part as like,
Yes.
so like the Lost?
Yes. So it would be like Legendary Kingdom or Lost Worlds part. And so it'd focus on like myths, legends, and fantastical adventures. This was a ChatGPT one. But you could have like ancient Greece, Olympus, and have like Hercules
Okay.
as your like heroic quests and encounters with gods and monsters. And then you could have like a Camelot, like medieval fantasies area, which would be like Sword in the Stone and Robin Hood. Lost City of Gold or Dorado, which would be like an Emperor's New Groove theme. Um, this had African legends inspired by unused Animal Kingdom concepts. And then the last one was like a Dragon's Lair, which would be a land dedicated to dragons and other mythical beasts, perhaps even incorporating the unbuilt Beastly Kingdom concept for Animal Kingdom.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think that could be really cool because, you know, looking at like, I feel like that would be such a colorful land.
Yeah.
You know, like with all the different, you know, architectural styles that would come with each of those lost worlds. I think that could be a super cool concept, especially when you start reading the ones that it's suggesting, like Hercules, Emperor's New Groove, Atlantis. Like those would definitely be one of those nods to the older generation.
And I feel like there's other ones you could like. My brain went to like Coco. Like you could incorporate like the like basically dead like the
Oh, like
you know
the
like going into like the dead land. I
the
don't know what's
the
the word I'm looking
bridge
for.
that you're
Like you go across the bridge and then it's like where all the like dead people live or whatever.
the afterlife.
Yeah, the afterlife.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
I think they have a specific word for it, but I don't know what it was.
But yeah, like the afterlife area kind of thing. I don't know. I think it'd be cool
That
to
could be
like.
cool. Oh my gosh. Imagine, okay, see, we not only do we have a Disney concept for an afterlife, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, Coco is historically and culturally based,
Yeah.
right? And but then we also have a concept for a what's it called? Like a before life with Soul.
Oh, that's true.
So imagine putting Soul and Coco at the beginning and end
Yeah.
of a park. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, this is
That
just
would be cool.
this is just brainstorming. This is what Imagineers think like.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. What? There's also like a dedicated Pixar park, but I feel like because you have Pixar sprinkled in so many places, you can't really do that now. But I don't know. I will still happily brainstorm with you, Disney, if you want to fly me out to Orlando. What other ones did we have on our paper?
We did put the possibility of like taking what Hollywood Studios is doing with their new animation area and creating that into a whole kingdom in itself.
This was Jack's idea. Shout out to Jack.
Yeah. And which, you know, I think you know, that could be super cool because one, that could be very open-ended.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you look at the possibility of introducing, you know, a lot of the video game world into that. But also, you know, I mean, animation is, you know, 90% of what Disney is. I mean, there would be no Disney without animation and creating.
True.
And so it could be a good nod for them, or a good way to nod towards, you know, the beginning of what Disney is.
Yeah.
So
I want to go back to Villains Land really quick because ChatGPT had some really good ideas that I just want to share with everyone. So aside from Maleficent's castle and the underworld, which would be high-speed roller coasters or dark rides through fiery landscapes, according to ChatGPT.
So they had the same idea we had.
They did. But then they also had the Forbidden Forest, which would be like Evil Queen and Maleficent, which would be mystical and ominous areas with immersive storytelling. Ursula's Grotto, which would be water-based attractions or dark rides. Dr. Facilier's New Orleans, a shadowy take on the French Quarter with voodoo magic and eerie encounters. That'd be really cool. Cruella's London, a themed shopping and dining district with a mischievous edge. That would be really fun too. I just wanted to throw those out there because I thought they were really fun.
And you know what? I think the part I like most about these is that, half of those could just be underground.
Yeah.
I imagine, obviously Hades is underground, but I could see like Ursula's being underground.
What if they just got rid of the Utilidor and made all of the tunnels under Magic Kingdom Villains Land?
What's the Utilidor?
It's the underground tunnels under Magic Kingdom that like the characters use to get from one place to another, and like they have a bunch of offices and things like that underneath the park. Yeah.
But then what would the characters and workers do?
Make another one underneath it.
The underground. And like the entrance could have been made by the Underminer from Incredibles.
I love the Underminer.
The Underminer.
Okay, some other ideas that ChatGPT had come up with. You've got a Disney Legends realm. The multiverse of myth and magic is a mythology and fantasy themed park that explores the global legends, ancient civilizations, and magical worlds, both real and imagined.
That feels
So it's kind of like what we.
Yeah, it feels a lot like the Lost Worlds one.
Yeah. So themed lands, realm of the ancients. You've got Greek, Atlantis, Mayan Sky Temple. Oh, so this is getting more into it.
I was going to say, this sounds like the same thing again.
Oh, okay. So, this is all... So, okay, basically my husband started Chat GPT because he also wanted to be involved. And so he sent me 8 screenshots worth of Chat GPT. But it's basically, so the Disney Legends realm, the multiverse of myth and magic. That's your park, okay? These are going to be the different lands. First land, Realm of the Ancients, which is going to be Greek, which is going to be Mount Olympus, Hercules, Titan encounters, things like that. Atlantis, a massive ride-through of the Sunken Kingdom. That'd be real cool. The Mayan Sky Temple, indoor-outdoor coaster with ancient tech meets magic theming. Number 2, Elven Wild, enchanted forests and woodland magic, inspired by classic Disney forest tales, but more mystical. Think Brave, Frozen 2, Pixie Hollow, and Bambi reimagined.
Me and Hannah would freak over Brave. Oh my god, we love Brave.
With ethereal glowing forests, features a bioluminescent boat ride, spirit animal interactions, and a nighttime forest light show. Number 3, Fables and Flames, beasts, dragons, and legendary creatures, anchored by a giant dragon animatronic show. Ride based on Raya and the Last Dragon, a flight simulator with Sisu, interactive areas with mythical creatures, phoenixes, griffins, etc. Number 4, Mystical Realms, alternate dimensions and magical science, inspired by Doctor Strange, Onward, Soul, and new original IPs. Mind-bending architecture.
Onward.
Right?
Oh, I do love
mind-bending architecture, magical illusions, portals you walk through, a multiverse dark ride where guests jump from world to world. Number 5, Starborn Skies, cosmic magic and future myths, celestial beings, space goddesses, and stories not yet told. Think of this as Disney's version of space fantasy. I just said. We made it. Less Star Wars, more mythic and spiritual. Floating rides, space caravans, and AI-guided constellations.
Oh.
Your nighttime shows, Eclipsed Realms. They've already named it. A spellbinding spectacle on a floating crystal lake with projections, drones, elemental effects, and music from Hercules, Moana, Frozen 2, and original mythical scores.
Okay.
So here's the unique selling point. A park that bridges the gap between ancient wonder and magical imagination. It leans into global storytelling, encourages original characters alongside known ones, and creates a platform for expanding Disney's mythological universe.
I enjoyed that whole concept because, like it does give a lot of good nods to kind of forgotten stories while also highlighting a lot of ones that weren't.
Yeah,
So.
I feel like we could really condense the ideas and give it what I liked about that was there were certain IPs in some of it, but then at the same time there's space for original ideas.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like we were forgetting a lot of, right? Having that space for non-IP, and which is really what I want to see more of from Disney moving forward. I love the IP and everything, but I want a little bit more originality. So that would be cool.
And I feel like I will say I feel like that will come naturally as more movies come out because
Yeah.
there's not a lot of. I mean, well, actually, there's plenty of newer movies that I'd love to see, or movies that just haven't gotten any Disney World love that I
Yeah.
think should. I mean, the most recent one is probably Zootopia. I mean,
Yeah.
Zootopia is getting a lot of love over in Shanghai, right?
Yeah.
And which is super cool. It's either Tokyo or Shanghai. I can't remember which one it is. But they have that whole Zootopia corner where you
Yeah.
can buy like the giant paw, like the
Yeah.
popsicle.
The popsicle.
Uh,
Yeah.
but no, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Uh, but I'd have to say overall, my favorite idea that we had today was my decades idea, going through the
That'd be
different
cool.
eras of Disney. Just
Yeah.
because I love that whole structure of like how the World Showcase does it, but actually in chronological order. I think that would be so cool, and I think I would enjoy seeing all the past movies getting some love. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, Disney, let us know. Give us a call. Text. Slide into our DMs. We'd love to come help build park number 5.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to add up?
Nope.
Well, if you all have any ideas, let us know in the comments. This has been a fun episode. All the usual stuff. If you're looking to book a trip, let me know. I'd be happy to help. Like I said earlier, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party tickets, there are still some available. And Very Merry Christmas Party tickets are available now as well. So let me know. My email is haley.ragsdale@academytravel.com. I'd love to help you book your next vacation at Disney or Universal, any of the Disney affiliated parks. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.